Hey class, this is Mr. Jones. I'm going to go over your assignment for today. I'm really hoping you're watching this video because this is a review. We're going to have a brief quiz tomorrow, and if you just know a lot of the stuff that's on here, um, then you'll be just fine. All it is just going over some of the things that we've went over in our presentations, whether it be Prezi or Google Slides over the last week and a half or 2 weeks, since break pretty much. But you read the directions, it says go back through this week and last week's presentations, finding the answers to the following questions. If it asks for a definition, try to put it in your own words instead of just typing out what is in the presentation. Doing this will make it more likely that you all will remember it. You all, anytime you can put something in your own words, you kind of make a personal connection. It sticks with you longer than if you just read it verbatim off a Google slide or off a Prezi presentation. So try to do that. Another thing I would recommend is to try to answer all of these before going back and looking at the presentations. Not all of them, the ones that you know. And if you're stuck, you go back, find the answers. But you all use this as a study guide too. So it says, what are the 3 main types of nonfiction? We've went over that in one of the Google slides. I think it's a Prezi presentation, I believe. Which of these 3 is presented aloud? So it will be one of these 3. Which of these 3 is supposed to remain unbiased throughout the text? Unbiased means a 2-sided presentation, not one-sided presentation. Bias is a one-sided presentation. And which of these 3 is published in text, can serve a multitude of purposes, can be in any of the 3 author's purpose types, and can give the author's viewpoint or opinion. You also, there's 3 questions here. There's 3 answers right here. You probably assume that each one's going to be used once. What are the 3 types of author's purpose? That's in a presentation, but if you went to Northern last year, I know that they went over author's purpose with PI, and so it's going to be the exact same thing. What are the 4 different essays that we reviewed yesterday? So I told you all yesterday, so if you don't remember, go back in the Prezi presentation for yesterday, and they should be in there. What are their definitions? You do that for 1, 2, 3, and 4. What is the definition of tone in its literary sense? That's in the presentation from yesterday, and so are some examples of some tone words. The definition of perspective in its literary sense, that was also in the presentation from yesterday. And complete the chart giving an example of each. So all you're doing here is you're just giving an example of formal versus informal. You don't have to give me a definition and then an example. Just give me an example of formal and an example of informal. And once you're finished with that, first off, you have a study guide you can kind of look over tonight for the quiz tomorrow. But second off, you're going to use this to answer our little crossword puzzle. It's a PDF. I'll put it in the Google Classroom. All you're going to do is just annotate it with Kami, because if you try to annotate it with Google Docs or transfer it to a Google Doc, then it turns into some big checkerboard, and it's not even a crossword puzzle anymore. It looks more like checkers. But if you have answered these, you'll have it pretty good. It'll be a lot easier to fill this out with this filled out. So I would fill out the nonfiction term review Google Doc and then go do the crossword. And crossword, we all know how to fill one of those out. Just look at the clue, come here, fill in the answer. And you all, this is just another review tactic. I am going to post a Kahoot in the Google Classroom for you all to use. This is another study resource. So I've given you all 3 study resources for our quiz tomorrow. It's up to you to utilize whichever one you all need to use, you think. But the biggest thing, if you all aren't doing as well as you want to do in my class, best way to get that grade up is through summative assessments. And a quiz and a test are summative assessments. And I feel like this quiz tomorrow could be a really good start to you all getting your grade up, because if you have reviewed this, you know this, then you're going to be just fine on the quiz. So you all, it's important that you all do this today. If you all have any questions whatsoever, feel free to shoot me an email. I'll be more than happy to answer them, reply as quickly as I can. I do have an eye doctor's appointment today at 1:50. So if you email me from like 1:50 to 3 o'clock, I might be a little later replying, but once I get out of the eye doctor's appointment, then I will reply as quickly as I can. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a great day. And like I said, if you all have any questions whatsoever, shoot me an email. Thanks.